What's up, my brothers and sisters? I was looking at the gematria, and where is it? I'm not sure why her name popped up. Well, this is yesterday, I believe, or the day before. And I also thought it was interesting that Kurt Cobain's name came up. And where did it go? There it is. It says Amanda Bynes. So, I thought that was kind of weird because I looked up Amanda Bynes. Well, I mean, I didn't look her up, but I've been hearing about her lately, and that she had something really weird happen to her, and she was basically roaming around the streets of, I think it was Los Angeles, like naked and stuff. I mean, wow, she's 37 years old. Is that? I don't know if that's true. No, okay, maybe because I'm 30. I'm 36 this year, so yeah, that makes sense. So, um, yeah, she had a psychotic breakdown apparently, and she was found roaming the streets naked, and I guess she ran into somebody, and she was basically like, help me, right? And that she was having a psychotic breakdown. So they 5150'd her, and they put her in a mental hospital. And then today or yesterday, it turns out that, well, she's out of the hospital. And I hope for her sake she's better. But, I mean, who's to say? And it's just kind of crazy, like looking at the pictures of her, because, I mean, look at her. I mean, she doesn't even look like the same person. I mean, it's really odd. Uh, and I think it's kind of odd too about like some of these Hollywood actresses and actors. Like, I mean, I don't know if she's had any work done to her face or anything like that, but I don't think she has. I mean, she doesn't look like she has, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, cause look at her right there, and then she's just like absolutely like a different person almost. And I don't. I mean, wow, that's probably a bad picture, but but man, like it's just weird how like some of these people just don't look the same anymore. And I can't really say it's because of plastic surgery, and but that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is I don't know, like why would her name come up on the gematria? I mean, it's a hint at something. And I really didn't think anything of it because I was like Amanda Bynes, you know what I mean? But then it turns out she's like released now, so um I don't know what that means. Sometimes it's insignificant things that mark where we are as far, or like things that are meant to happen, because there's like puzzle pieces, right? And when it comes to, like, I guess, like the end of days, there's events that have to take place, and like, as I've said before, I've given dates before, and it was like nothing happened. Well, something happens every day, okay? And some of the dates that I gave, it was like something happened that day too. And as insignificant as it is, it still needs to happen. Things take place that take part in what happens later, right? So I don't know if maybe something bad is gonna happen to her, or maybe this is like a mark as to where we are as far as like things that are meant to happen. And I'm not saying that like her event is insignificant, because it's rather unfortunate of her to have this, because she's probably a victim of her circumstance, like all these other child star Hollywood actresses and actors. Um, because they've had a lot of bad things done to them. And it's like Britney Spears, for instance, and it's like I don't know, it's just kind of funny because I see these people just like la- laughing at Britney Spears, and it's rather unfortunate in her circumstance as well because she's not mentally well either, and we all know that. And I mean, I've never been a fan of her, but I've I've been hearing about her since I was like in fifth grade, right? And my sister was a big fan of her, and it's like, so, I've kind of like watched her grow up with me, and like now I kind of see like where she's at now, and it's just, it's rather unfortunate, and it's sad, and Hollywood's a sick place, man, and um, but one thing I want to get at as far as Britney Spears is like I don't know if like y'all are familiar with her, but she does like these like dance videos. I guess it's like on Instagram or something, and she does like these circles, these circles, these circles, these circles, and she does like these stupid like dances, and then she does these circles, these circles, these circles, And now that I think about it, it's like she might be getting at something with that, because I'm always talking about circles, but she's always just like spinning in circles and spinning and spinning and spinning. And I like told somebody, I was like, man, she does a lot of like spinny stuff, like, and I don't know if that's like MK Ultra stuff, but if she keeps doing those circles, she's gonna end up corkscrewing her way all the way to China. So, she's gonna end up going through the ground, and she's gonna find herself on the other side of the world. So, but um, I've been having a lot of dreams about being in India, which I find rather odd too, because I don't really find myself researching India or anything like that. And hey, look at that. Speaking of which, it says a broken mind control. Isn't that odd? So I don't know, man. Like uh, and there's a lot of like weird like symbolism in these dreams that I have. Um, I was hanging out with I was lucky to hang out with someone who was rather wealthy in India, and I find myself walking through like this mall or something, right? And I'm always just like so amazed because I'm like, as it were, like you would walk through the mall here, you're walking by like clothing stores, you're walking by, I always find myself in these hookah places because, I'm an advocate of smoking. So, I always find myself in like these like hookah shops and, um, but then all of a sudden it was like they put this place on lockdown and they were like looking for some Americans and I'm like thinking in my head like, oh man, like, they're gonna come and get me and but they weren't looking for me. So, I ended up getting cut off from the people I'm like guests of, right? So after all that was said and done, it was like I found myself back at their house of residence, and uh, they have like this beautiful, absolutely beautiful home, right? And I mean, and then like before, like I went in their house, it was like somebody of importance, I guess like a priest or something. It's a little different there. I'm not sure how it goes, but the way it went in my dream, it was like, there's these like a monk, I guess you could say. And before I went to the house to go talk to the friend I guess I'm hanging out with, he kind of just like grabbed me and pulled me to the side, and he wanted me to go like pray with him, and I said, yeah, sure, why not, right? And I found it odd because now I'm like by this, there's almost like squares, and there's like water in it, but they're very shallow. And he knelt down, so I knelt down, and like we're kind of like facing each other, opposite of each other. And he knelt down, and he started using the water to like almost like splash on his face, and like so I kind of like started doing the same thing, and it was weird because I was doing these motions with my hands, and I was almost as if I knew how to do it already, but I was doing it, or maybe I was just doing my own, what I felt was my own prayer, and but it was almost like an energetic thing. So I'm putting my hands out, I'm putting them in front of me, I bring them to my sides, and then I bring them to my face, down to my heart, and I got the water, I'm like splashing my face, right? And I'm like using this water, I guess, to kind of cleanse myself, I suppose. And, splashing it on my head, letting it run down. And then it was like we were done praying, right? And, in a way, I felt honored to be praying with this person because, and I felt honored that they wanted me to pray with them because I guess you could say it was like a monk, right? And I don't know. It's just pretty odd. And usually water is a symbol of like renewal, and cleansing of sin and stuff like that. And but it was almost like like I kind of already knew what to do. And I don't know. I just found it rather odd. And then you know yeah, so I've been having a lot of dreams about like India. I just like find it odd, right? Like I don't know what India has to do with anything or what's going on in India or like maybe something has to do with India. I mean, I don't know, I mean, who knows? Anyways, lessons in strength, brothers and sisters. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful day. And yeah, lessons in strength.